Buzz Lightyear soars across a distant planet, firing lasers at swarming robots and dodging explosions as he battles his arch-enemy, Emperor Zurg. The action is fast, heroic, and suddenly cut short when Zurg obliterates him. Fortunately, it's only Rex playing a video game back in Andy's room, frustrated that he still can't beat Zurg. Lesson 1. In the words of Thomas Edison, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. Real life proves just as dangerous as Andy prepares to leave for Cowboy Camp. During a final minute of playtime, Andy tears the seam on Woody's shoulder. Andy's mom gently sets the cowboy on the shelf, promising to fix him later and devastating Woody, who now has to miss Cowboy Camp. Lesson 2. Accidents happen, and sometimes you can't stop them. You just have to learn to fall gracefully. It's there he finds company in Wheezy, a penguin toy with a broken squeaker, coated in dust and forgotten. Woody sees the dreaded yard sale sign outside. Andy's mom begins collecting old toys to sell, and Wheezy ends up in one of the boxes. Woody refuses to let his friend go. Summoning Buster, the family dog, he charges into the yard sale to save Wheezy. Woody grabs Wheezy and clings to Buster's collar as they race toward safety. But just as the rescue seems certain, Woody slips and tumbles off Buster. Al McWhiggin, a greedy toy collector, spots him ecstatic that he's finally found a rare Sheriff Woody. While Andy's mom is distracted, Al seizes his chance. He steals Woody since she wouldn't sell it to him. Lesson 3. The more you have, the more you want, and the less you see what truly matters. Buzz Lightyear unsuccessfully comes to the rescue, but has enough evidence pointing to Al's toy barn. Woody wakes up in a high-rise penthouse, but he isn't being tortured, he's being celebrated. He meets an exuberant cowgirl named Jessie, a horse, named Bullseye, and Stinky Pete, a prospector still mint in the box. They reveal a shocking truth. Woody isn't just a doll, he's a valuable collector's item. They introduce him to Woody's Roundup, the 1950s puppet show where he was the star. Surrounded by plates, record players, and cutouts of his own face, he realizes that without him, the collection is worthless. Lesson 4. In the words of Marcel Proust, the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. Meanwhile, back at Andy's house, Buzz Lightyear rallies the troops for a rescue. Rex, Ham, Mr. Potato Head, and Slinky Dog follow him into the great unknown. The city is dangerous and enormous, but their loyalty drives them forward. Lesson 5. In the words of Euripides, friends show their love in times of trouble, not in happiness. When Al falls asleep, Woody tries to get his arm back. But just as he successfully grabs the arm, the TV mysteriously turns on, startling Al and sending Woody tumbling onto the floor. After Al leaves the room, a furious Woody accuses Jessie of sabotaging his escape by turning on the TV, and Woody fights Jessie. The fight is broken up by Stinky Pete, and he calms the Roundup Gang by reminding Woody that the professional is coming for fixing Woody. Lesson 6. Don't jump to conclusions. Buzz and the other toys finally locate Al's toy barn, but they're separated by the entrance by a busy highway. Crossing the road, the toys hide under orange traffic cones to sneak across the street. As they move, the cones cause massive traffic chaos, sending cars swerving erratically and causing a massive concrete pipe to roll off a truck and nearly crush them. Buzz and the gang make it to the front doors safely. Once inside, they're overwhelmed by the endless aisles of merchandise and decide to split up to cover more ground in Buzz's mission to find Woody. Lesson 7. Big obstacles require small steps and teamwork. Back at the penthouse, the professional toy fixer arrives to begin the meticulous process of fixing Woody. The cleaner polishes Woody's plastic, touches up his paint, and carefully threads a needle to sew the torn arm back onto his body. The restoration of Sheriff Woody is complete. Inside Al's toy barn, Buzz wanders down an aisle filled with thousands of Buzz Lightyears. He attempts to take a gravity belt from a newer display model, but this utility belt Buzz arrests him, believing he is actually a renegade space ranger. Meanwhile, the other toys find a convertible to drive around and crash a party in the doll aisle, where tour guide Barbie jumps in to lead the way. As Buzz fights utility belt Buzz, the newer model imprisons Andy's Buzz in a cardboard box. Just as the gang drives up, they unknowingly pick up the new Buzz, leaving the real one trapped on the shelf while the imposter takes his place in the rescue mission. Lesson 8. In the words of Albert Einstein, assumptions are made, and most assumptions are wrong. Woody tries to leave to get home to Andy, but without him, the rest of the gang will be returned to storage without him. He tries to make peace with Jessie before leaving, prompting Jessie to open up and share the heartbreaking story of her previous owner, Emily. Lesson 9. Empathy begins with listening. Jessie reveals her tragic past with her owner, Emily. For years, they were inseparable, spending hours playing in the fields. However, as Emily grew up, she replaced her toys with makeup and started ignoring her cowboy doll. Jessie was eventually kicked under the bed, where she gathered dust for years while waiting for Emily to return. In a heartbreaking moment, Emily finally picks her up, only to be placed in a cardboard box and abandoned at a donation truck. Lesson 10. It is better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. As Woody tries to leave, Stinky Pete delivers a harsh reality check, reminding Woody that Andy is growing up and won't play with him forever. He offers an appealing alternative. Go to the Kanishi Toy Museum in Japan and be admired by children for generations. Woody changes his mind and decides to stay with the Roundup Gang. Lesson 11. Fear of the future shouldn't rob you of the present. Inside Al's toy barn, the gang spots Al checking out. Led by utility belt Buzz, they stow away in Al's bag to hitch a ride to his apartment. The real Buzz Lightyear tries to follow but gets stuck behind the automatic doors. To escape, he knocks over a display case, inadvertently releasing Emperor Zurg, who immediately begins tracking the Space Ranger across the parking lot. Back at the apartment building, the toys escape Al's car and follow him. They enter the ventilation system to access the elevator shaft. As Al packs for the trip to Japan, Woody and the Roundup Gang are bonding, playfully tickling Woody as he fully embraces his new life. Meanwhile, the rescue team rides the top of the elevator to reach the penthouse floor. Using Rex's head as a battering ram, they burst through the air vent to save Woody. Confusion erupts when the real Buzz Lightyear arrives, leading to a standoff with utility belt Buzz. However, the mission hits a wall when Woody refuses to leave. He argues that he is now a valuable collector's item, destined for the museum. Buzz tries to reason with him and throws Woody's own advice back at him, reminding him that a toy's life is only worth living if it's being played with. Defeated, Buzz and the gang leave sadly. Lesson 12. Value isn't being preserved. It's about being loved. As You've Got a Friend in Me plays on the TV, Woody looks at the name Andy on his boot and has a change of heart. He realizes he can't abandon Andy and invites Jessie and Bullseye to come with him. Lesson 13. The moment you realize you have made a mistake is the first moment you begin to learn. However, Stinky Pete suddenly reveals his true colors. The Prospector locks the air vent, explaining that he spent an entire lifetime waiting on a dime store shelf and won't let Woody ruin his chance at museum glory. Al returns, packs the Roundup Gang into the case, and heads for the airport. The rescue team chases Al to the elevator shaft but is intercepted by Emperor Zurg. A dramatic battle ensues between utility belt Buzz and Emperor Zurg. Just as Zurg prepares to finish off Buzz, he drops a massive bombshell. I am your father. While the two share a moment, Rex accidentally knocks Zurg down the elevator shaft with his tail, defeating the villain. Despite the victory, they are too late to stop Al from driving away, forcing the toys to hijack a vehicle to give chase. Working as a team, they follow Al's car. Lesson 14. In the words of Henry Ford, coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. At the airport, they crash into the curb at the terminal entrance. The toys hide inside a pet carrier and are sent down into the baggage handling system. Buzz opens Al's suitcase to rescue Woody, but Stinky Pete punches him away, refusing to let his museum dreams die. The Prospector and Woody start fighting and he tears Woody's arm open again, undoing the cleaner's work. But Andy's toys arrive and blind him with flash cameras. They stuff him into a pink backpack belonging to a little girl, ensuring Stinky Pete learns a lesson. Lesson 15. Bitterness is a choice that leads to isolation. But Jessie is too late in escaping, and her and the suitcase head toward the airplane. Woody and Buzz mount Bullseye to give chase, galloping across the tarmac. Woody leaps onto the moving luggage cart and boards the airplane just before the cargo door shuts. Inside the hold, he frees Jessie, but the plane begins to taxi for takeoff. Trapped, they find an escape route through the landing gear hatch. Woody uses his pull string as a lasso, and Woody and Jessie escape from the plane, landing safely on Bullseye behind Buzz as the plane roars overhead. Lesson 16. In the words of John Wayne, courage is being scared to death, but saddling up anyway. Andy returns from Cowboy Camp and is thrilled to find new toys, Jessie and Bullseye, waiting on his bed. Later we see that Woody's arm has been reattached by Andy himself. Lesson 17. You don't need to be perfect to be loved. The new recruits are officially part of the family, with Andy now written on the bottom of their hooves and boots. On the TV, the toys watch a commercial showing Al defeated. The story concludes with Wheezy singing "You've Got a Friend in Me." Lesson 18. In the words of Aristotle, what is a friend? A single soul dwelling in two bodies.